Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Jarvis. You're with me on IG, so I see my people over on IG. I am gifted like you. What's up? How you feeling? How you doing? You are with me on FB. I see my people over there on FB. What's going on? You guys are excited. You're ready to be in the building. I see Tasha Renee already jumped in with the A, and you're also with me on YouTube and over here on the Wisdom app. So those with me on the Wisdom app, go ahead and throw up some clapping hands. Let us know what we got going on. Tonight we have an amazing show. It's still Jarvis TV. I have with me none other than the man, the myth, the legend himself, one of my premier speakers coming to the Impact Rally, Shark Tank entrepreneur, executive producer of the Oscarville series, or Oscarville, the television series, let me say that correctly, as well as an author, as well as, look, I don't want to give away all his goods, but Bob Mackey is in the building with me today. And so I'm going to run this commercial really quick. And as soon as we come back from this commercial, I'm going to be sitting here live with Bob Mackey. Please feel free to jump in and get in the conversation. You know, if you're over on IG and you want to get in, all you have to do is request to join, and I'll bring you up so you can join the conversation. If you're on the Wisdom app and you'd like to join the conversation, you can do that as well. And if you're on Facebook or YouTube, please just jump in the comments. I will post a link in there at some point for you to be able to jump up in and join in the conversation as well. So enjoy this commercial. And as soon as this commercial is over, we are back and we are going full-fledged, full throttle, full speed ahead. And we're talking about positioning yourself for purpose with Bob Mackey. Enjoy this commercial. Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Jarvis. We are back from the commercial break. I got my guy with me, Bob Mackey, in the building. Over there looking swole up. He got the green shirt on. That's what I call him the Hulk. That's the Hulk right now. What's good, man? How you feeling?
Pretty good, man. Just having a chance to get caught up on the physical side of 22. You know, you and I, we were talking about getting in, but you got to get it in, man. And that's what I had a chance to do before jumping on. But yeah, how's it going, man?
Man, it's going good. It's going good. I'm excited. We got the Impact Rally coming up. And I just wanted to take an opportunity, man, to thank you publicly. Let me throw these flowers now. Just thank you so much for coming and being a part of this. You bring so much value. You know, tonight's topic is positioning yourself for purpose. And like I was telling you pre-show, is like, man, when I look at you, that's what I see is you've set yourself up to win. And I want to be able to dive in on that a little bit tonight. So, man, look, thank you.
Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate the flowers, but let me say this. I'm all about giving things to people that can benefit them that they don't have to maintain. So as much as I love the flowers, push me something else my way, because you know, flowers, it takes, you know, some energy, man. You know, to grow those, you just can't let them stay alone. So in 2022, I'm giving people things that they don't have to maintain, but I appreciate that though.
You know what? I'm gonna take that. Instead of throwing flowers, I'm gonna start throwing things that you ain't gotta maintain.
That's right. Like energy is real, and
I'm gonna send that energy for real.
Yeah, hey, do it, man. Hey, I appreciate being a part of the Impact Tour. at everything that you're doing. You know, inspiration is something that is a part of storytelling. And anytime you're inspired, you've basically had an opportunity to share some form of a story, or be impacted by some form of a story. So, hey, you know, the Impact Tour, it is what it says.
Yeah.
It's full of impact, and you got to come ready. So I'm excited to be a part of it. And you and I met Melissa White, you know, on the activation hour. And man, I'm just, you know, just pleased to have a chance to really be on your show, number one, and just, you know, break bread with you.
Man, thank you so much. Hey, what I want to do is I really want to kick it off and just allow you just tell people a little bit about you. I can throw the accolades out there, but there's nothing like hearing it from you. You know, you're a Shark Tank entrepreneur. You are an executive producer of a groundbreaking TV show, and I want to make sure I say it right. It's Oscarville, the television series, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So,
Oscarville.
yeah, Oscarville, the television series, executive producer, co-director, casting. My buddy Carl, you know, and I, we've been on this journey. Started writing this probably in 2020, bringing it to life. But yeah, I'm an inventor by heart, you know, entrepreneur by heart. Started out at a young age, selling everything that sold. So for me, it was about, you know, figuring out how could I really be more of an assistant to other people. And I'm an author, probably got six publications out, got one coming out this year, 9 things that speakers shouldn't forget. And it's all about getting yourself, as you talked about, positioning yourself. It's just the small things, you know. A lot of people want to get paid, but a lot of people are ready to get paid. You know, when it's time for those invoices, are you invoice ready? And those are the type of things that I talk about, that things that speakers can't forget along the way, from that end. So, yeah, I've been part of, you know, my heart is based on service, been part of youth development for over 17 years, nonprofit management for over 17 years, just all of the above. But, you know, I'm all about motivation and really getting people to understand, like, we don't have much time. You know, I know it seems like 38 years is a long time, 60 years is a long time, but it's not long enough. So how do you capitalize on the grounds that you have an opportunity to walk on daily? And initially, that's my, you know, frame of thought of how it becomes like, who are we? You know, what are we here for? But at the end of the day, I mean, it's a capital society. We like great things, and we have to position ourselves to obtain those things and maintain those things too. So yeah, that's pretty much in a nutshell, Bob Mackey. This is my first time like being Oscarville on the backside of a camera in a sense. I've never really, you know, this is my first time writing a script. So I've been learning along the way and watching other people along the way, you know, from Denzel to Jamie, you know, to all of these guys. It's like, man, not only do I want to be like a Jamie, right? But I want to write something that Jamie could feature himself, you know, that Bob Mackey has written.
Right.
So it's so yeah, that's who I am.
Man, that's what's up. Can we talk about Oscarville really quick? Because I know there's, if you're not from the Georgia area, you may not even really be familiar with Oscarville or Lake Lanier. And I did not know that was the story of Lake Lanier until I was asking questions and I was able to meet you at the activation hour with Melissa D. White. And so the man, if you don't mind, because it's very fitting since today is, you know, MLK Day, you know, a day that we celebrate the life of Martin Luther King Jr. And so it's I just feel it would be fitting to just share a little bit about it, man. I really wish I had the clip. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make sure going forward that I have your Oscarville, the television series, in my commercial setup so that it just runs right through the commercials.
Gotcha. I appreciate that. So Oscarville, man, is a lot of people known if we have a lot of trend followers in a sense. So a lot of people know it as Lake Lanier. Lake Lanier is a man-made recreational lake to provide water pretty much to Georgia and beyond. It's a controlled dam, the Buford Dam. And during that process, It started way back when. In the 1800s, it was Native, Cherokee Nation, as I call it, and many people have known it to be Indian Native land. As time went on, those lots were sold by others, and blacks moved in. And there were some things that had taken place in the 1910s. A lot of people know the Maycrow story, but Oscarville was not only just a town underneath the lake, it was a thriving black community. And that's the difference between just a town sitting there and a town flooded than an actual thriving black community. So 1912, 1913, things took place. It was considered racial cleansing. And overall, it's the bigger picture to what has happened to America. When you look at it, there are these towns called sundown towns, right? And basically, you had to be out. If you were black, when you went to these towns, you had to be out of the town before sundown. So that's why they call them sundown towns. And Oscarville was a town that many blacks went to the Forsyth County, and along the way, it took opportunity to get them to pretty much move out. There were lynchings, there were murders, there was all kind of things. And a lot of people say it's buried underneath the town. Oscarville's not the only town buried underneath. What we're looking at is Oscarville, the television series Below the Surface. It's really what's happening. So MLK, 1987, Coretta Scott King came down after the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King, and she took part in what they consider as the March on Forsyth. So Coretta Scott King, you had Benjamin Hooks, you also had Andrew Young, Jesse Jackson. I mean, all of the great civil rights leaders who came down. Oprah Winfrey came down and did her show. So if you Google in Oprah Winfrey, you'll see that she had done her show there. So it was just a racial hotspot. And people were really taking, an opportunity to learn what was really going on, because on record, once upon a time, they only had one black person living in this particular, as they call, county in a sense. And it's like, wow. But records showed in 1910 that it was 1,000 black people. So what happened? The land was stolen, as they called it, abandoned, if you ask many others. And it was taken. And now it's some of the wealthiest property in the state of Georgia.
Man, so what inspired you to write the series? Like, that's because everything, like the things that you just shared with me, I didn't know any of that until I met you and started like researching it. And that was because I got a chance to actually, we're, like I said, we're on activation hour, we're there, and I'm just so blown away by the story, because I knew what I had been told about Lake Lanier, but I had no idea the depth of it. So what inspired you to write that, man?
Yeah, the inspiration came from just putting it out there, and nobody really wanted to tell the story. There's a level of secrecy when it comes to the truth. And I know it's hard to swallow, but it's easier to digest when people are willing to have the conversation. So racism and everything boils over when people stop talking about it. So then all of a sudden it seems like you're hiding the truth. And that's when people find out, people are upset, and rightfully so. So that's one of those things that take place along the way. And I just said, you know what, I pitched it to a couple of people. They said, no, we don't want to really go there with this. And I said, I'm just going to write it myself. So I got with a good friend. We said, hey, let's do this. And kind of the rest is history in the making. I got with Carl, and Carl is Mad Scientist Productions. And we brought on an incredible team. We've been filming ever since. First episode drops in February. So we're excited for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to be my own crowd.
Yeah. Hey, hopefully you can come and do, your show live, from, the viewing.
Oh, definitely. That is a great idea. And I you know what? I will we'll talk about that, because I'm gonna set that up. We will
Gotcha.
set that up. And I met Carl, man. Carl's a cool dude. He looked like he a little quiet, a little something, but he's smooth. He real cool.
Yeah, he is, man. Genius. Yeah, he's a mental genius. I'll say that.
he's like just the things I was able to see and the conversation that I had and everything was great. The so let's pivot a little bit. So I mentioned the Shark Tank thing, man. How now I myself was on a reality show. And that's
Yes.
actually how I met Melissa, was on the reality show that I was on with the GOAT. But man, to be on, like, I look at the pressure we had on the show that I had, and we lost him for just a second, so I'm waiting for him to come back. But the pressure that I had on the show that I was on, I can only imagine what that would look like in being in Shark Tank. So when Bob comes back to us, we just lost him for just a second, but as soon as he comes back to us, I'm gonna bring him back up and allow him to talk a little bit about just his journey going into and doing Shark Tank and being a Shark Tank entrepreneur. So we're gonna take a commercial break real quick, Blight. And when we come back from this commercial break, your boy will be here and we'll be ready to chop it up some more on positioning yourself for purpose with Bob Mackey. You know, there's a reason behind why I'm having him share some of the things that I'm sharing, because he positioned himself to win, and he has definitely positioned himself for purpose. So enjoy this commercial and we'll be right back.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. Beyond measure.
I'm gonna show you how great I am. Last night I cut the light off in my bedroom, hit the switch, was in the bed before the room was dark. I'm gonna show you how great I am. Only last week I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean I make medicine sick. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
This kid's gonna be the best kid in the world. This kid's gonna be somebody better than anybody ever knew.
I'm gonna show you how great I am. I have wrestled with an alligator. I done tussled with a whale. I done handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in jail. I'm gonna show you how great I am. All of you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him. All of you. I know you got him. I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
But somewhere along the line, you changed. You stopped being you. You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Because if you're willing to go through all the battling you gotta go through to get to where you want to get, who's got the right to stop you? I mean, maybe some of you guys got something you never finished, something you really want to do, something you never said to someone, something. And you're told no, even after you pay your dues. Who's got the right to tell you that? Who? Nobody. It's your right to listen to your gut. It ain't nobody's right to say no. After you earn the right to be where you want to be and do what you want to do. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Yo, man, he said you're better than that. Hey, listen, positioning yourself for purpose. Hey, we are in this, man. I love what I'm gonna show you how great I am by that Muhammad Ali was saying that right there, that sticks to me. That is my motto. I'm gonna show you how great I am. And Tasha Renee, she chimed in. I'm so mad I make medicine sick. Oh, come on, let's go. Hey, so we are talking about positioning yourself for purpose. My guest, Bob Mackey, we will have him back shortly. I know that we lost him. We had some technical difficulties. Even if he doesn't come back, we still have a great topic that we're talking about, and that is positioning yourself for purpose. If you listen to the things that Bob was talking about while he was on, he was talking about how um, just mentioning how the things that he did. So I had him talking about the Oscarville, the television series. I asked him some questions just to let you know the things that he's done over the course of his life, because all of the things that he's done these things, and he's purposely put himself in a position. And it's in a position to make an impact. It's in a position to make a difference. It's in a position to make a change. All of these things, they go together. They all correlate with each other. There's nothing about anything that he has done, and not even in conversations that I've had with him, where I don't hear him talk about things that he's doing that's going to impact the lives of other people. Now I don't want to say too much about the Shark Tank thing because I don't know how much I could share with you on that. So that's one of those things that I'll definitely have to wait for him to come back on. But I can say that with the Oscarville, the series, he said that episode airs in February. You want to be tuned in for that. We're going to set something up for that as well. So, man, positioning yourself for purpose. When you think about purpose, I want you to think about your dreams. I want you to think about your desires. I want you to think about your ambitions. I want you to think about all of the things that you want out of life. Because now I'm gonna bring Bob back up, and we're gonna talk a little bit. And I just want to get his experience. My guy, what's good, man?
Sounds good. Hey,
You sound good. You look good. It's okay. We had a commercial break. Hey, you know how television shows work. So, just before we had the technical difficulties, I was asking you about Shark Tank. Just like, can you talk about that? Are you in a, like, I know for us we kind of had that NDA set up, certain things we just couldn't talk about. So I don't want to ask questions on them that you can't talk about.
Oh yeah. I can pivot around the things that we talk about, but I can definitely go into it. Because I imagine.
Okay, and just enough, because I was telling them, the things that you've done have been you intentionally positioning yourself for purpose. You did them on purpose to position yourself for purpose. So please share with us, man. I'm gonna drop out your way and let you share.
All right, sounds good. So when it comes to Shark Tank, let's go back just a little bit. It started with an idea to improve or to provide service to something that I couldn't find a solution to. So I somewhat created it. And I was at the gym, tripped over a bag, asked the attendant, hey, is there something that I can place my bag on or whatnot? He was kind of nonchalant about it. And I was like, you know what? I said, well, could I hang it on the machine or the wall? And it was two things: as long as you don't damage our machine, as long as you don't damage our wall. I was like, cool. So I took a napkin, took a pen that I was working with, and I just started back on the elliptical and sketched out this thing, what is now known as the Yono clip. So Yono clip is a compact, inexpensive device that holds up to 15 pounds. The experience on Shark Tank, we were one of the fastest companies to get on Shark Tank. Idea came in February, at the end of February, so March the 2nd, applied for Shark Tank in April. We were on the show there for the season 12, episode 5, episode 8, I do believe. And the experience, one of the worst times to go on Shark Tank, right? It really was. We had 7 million people who we were in front of, but the worst time to go on Shark Tank, because as soon as we went on Shark Tank, basically the bottom fell out of the industry. What I mean by the industry, so there's a product development industry. When you look at overseas, the thing about the ports and having products sitting in the ports, that most consumers don't experience that, because there are companies who've made things a lot faster. You get products in 2 days. It used to be 30 days. That's because there was a way of the port that people could pay for faster production. They could pay for faster shipping, and you can get product in your consumer hands. So what happened to us, we went on Shark Tank as soon as we started getting product. Basically, the port shut down, and people were saying, "What's going on? Like, why can't we? Where's our product?" People were upset, and for a couple of weeks, we didn't have any answers because we were being told that, hey, products on the way. You know, we were given tracking numbers, this and that, and we're like, you know what? So we went back to more so 3D printing with the development design, and that's how
Yeah.
we started. We bought 3D printers, put them in the garage, and we started manufacturing out of the garage. You know, it was have an opportunity, told myself how to do the STL files, CAD design development, and
Yeah.
basically or essentially built the product from scratch.
Wow, man.
And, so yeah, we went on, great experience. I mean, we ended up doing a deal with Damon John, who's our business partner. The deal was 150,000 for a 30
Okay.
company. You know, it was, I mean, it's an incredible partnership, but it was
Yeah.
just a great vision, great idea, wrong time. But I can't say I would have done it any other way because
Yeah.
now I have a chance to see the side from the manufacturer's point of view. You know,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
can't fully be upset when a manufacturer says, "Hey, we can't get product." I know what it's like now. You know, I know what
Yeah.
it's like to have products sitting on the dock. Like
Mm.
if I took a helicopter, I can tell you where our containers were. You can't get to them, and then once they're docked, right? You got to have workers who are able to bring them off, right? You got to unload the cargo containers. There were very few workers because this is right in the middle of COVID. So being able to pivot, being able to develop the customer service, you satisfy everybody. So in that things, you got to give refunds back and all of that. But it made us a stronger company, and
Right.
it's a top hit product, and we're still catching up, from that because the world shut down for a year, going on 2 years, but right at 2 years, and that's where we are. But great experience. I would suggest for anybody, go on. No, if you're gonna go on, know business, right? Most importantly, know your business because
Hmm.
not that people fail and don't get deals because they don't know business. They just don't know their business.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it's a numbers game. 1 plus 1 is 2, right? You got to understand how much acquisition, costs are. How much does it cost you to obtain a new customer? And most people don't look at that. They're saying, hey, yeah, Facebook ad is one thing. But when you look at your market, when you look at your targeted customers, they're not all going to be on Facebook. You're going to have other storefronts. You're going to have what we consider mom and pops. But the experience, man, was an incredible experience to say, hey, actually, we went on the #1 business show in America and got a deal and brought back, a trophy of walking into town and surviving.
Yes, sir, bro. I'm telling you, like I watched that. I watched Shark Tank because I enjoy watching people bring their business plans forward. Watching people step into their dreams, step into their. I keep leaning to purpose, but it's just stepping into their ambitions. Because, like you said, for you, you saw a problem and you were like, okay, let me go ahead and put this together. This is something that can fix that problem. And I've seen the Yono clip. You like actually used my backpack that had a laptop and something else in it, and you just kind of stuck it on the side of the table and just bloop, and hung it on there. So it's definitely something that is beneficial. So man, let's talk about this purpose piece, man. Like the one of the things, and again, like I know a little bit about you. More than a lot of people who are watching, and so I know that you worked with youth, and I know that you've had like you're very community minded. Like you have a voice, and you're utilizing your voice for change. You have a business mind, and your business mind is pretty much helping you set these things up. But the steps that you're taking are steps where you are literally like if I was to do a movie in my mind of the life of Bob Mackey and I went back like 15 years, I could literally see you having conversations, making moves, pouring into young men, talking to families, talking to single moms, talking to single dads, then going into public spaces where you're probably surrounded by some sort of municipality, so a mayor or a councilman or a congressman or somebody like that, having these conversations with these people, then getting with other like-minded individuals, and it would be a dope movie, right? It'd almost be like watching The Pursuit of Happiness without all of the downside of it. Not to say there weren't any downsides in there, but knowing the things that I know about you, and I'm not trying to tell your story. I'm just saying, like, I'm from the things that I know of you, I'm like, yo, this man literally, he can speak on positioning for purpose, or repositioning yourself, or, you know, how to take your voice and become a community impact, as opposed to just appealing to just yourself. So on the topic of purpose, man, and I know that I don't have you for long, so if you got to get ready to go, you just let me know. But if you can, man, just kind of hit on that a little bit as far as positioning yourself for purpose.
I think, you know, just to give, you know, most people just the underlining everything. Hey, I'm a country boy. I'm just an old dropout of high school type of guy. You know, that's basically, you know, I always say I dropped out. I dropped out initially in the, well, I'm gonna be so transparent right here. So I dropped out in the 8th grade, then leave the building to the 10th grade, right? So
Okay. So
you
you
know,
hung out.
yeah. Well, no. I had purpose because I had to eat, right? So
Yeah.
it was a part of community also mindset, you know, because at the time, you know, for me, it was a lot different. I mean, it's hard to think about things that society coins as a priority when you know you're going to come home with no lights. You know, it's
Yeah.
hard to talk about doing homework in the dark. You know, and teachers, they really didn't understand that, and you can't explain that, and you're protecting your family, because if you say something about it, you know, defects is going to be knocking at your door. You
True.
know, it's hard to go to school like, hey, you ain't got the gear that you need. But I was cool with that, right? Because I knew that was I couldn't change, you know, the family that I was born into. I couldn't change the position that we were in. You know, I could get a job, you know, in the evening, so I would have to leave school at 4th period, 5th period. We have 7 periods, right? I would leave
Yeah.
5th period, and I would miss 2 periods every day so I can catch the city bus, you know, to go to work. You know,
Yeah.
and that was my way of contributing back to the household. Because 16, you know, you're a child, but 17, you're looked at as a contributing factor, you know, at that time, and that's how I was. So
Right.
positioning myself for purpose, man, I had to see that, like sometimes you just deserve that, and you know it. And people around you sometimes know it too. And it's
Yeah.
harder to break that mindset. So what you have to do is to develop a new mindset, right?
Yeah.
You may not can change anything, you know, any tangible thing, but you can change how you think about those things. You can
Yeah.
change how you think about life. Um, and a lot of people don't realize it's a heart thing and it's a mind thing. And
Right.
you can align the two, because purpose is kind of alignment. Purpose looks different for everybody. You know,
Right.
every like destinations may be the same, but how we get there may be a bit different, and it will be a bit different.
Yeah.
And that's where I've always been an optimistic, you know, person, very motivated, because sometimes that's not to keep from crying, that type of thing. Pop was, you know, playing constantly, you know, on the tape deck, A-Ball, MJG, all of those guys, because that was the language that they could speak to me. But I knew, like, it's kind of like Jay-Z did. You realize, like, you have an opportunity to now transition, and you have the tools, you have the skills, but just that environment is not, it doesn't foster and grow those. So you have to adapt to new environments, and that's what I had to do, and that's what a lot of people have to do. It's like you could be the best person in the wrong place all day, every
Right.
day. You could
Right.
be the
Right.
best employee, but working for you know, you could be the best. You could be the best vocalist, but on the wrong, you know, team. You know, it's you know, as much as most people want to win that championship, they're just not a part of the team.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you're like, and I don't want to say Carl Malone, but like, what's his name? Tim Duncan. Tim finally won one, right?
He finally won one.
He finally won one, right? But all of those years, but he was committed to improvements. And this is just my analogy of him. he was committed to improvement. So everybody who played on and with him got better, and that was his role. So you're gonna have people like that. I'm not saying you're not in a position to win. It's just winning looks a lot different. And I grew up around to where like money was a curse, right? People that I used to hear without money, they would always say, money's not everything. But I never heard people with money say that. They know that it's like a capitalistic society to where you need it to survive.
Right.
And it's not about, and I used to hear a lot, oh, you need to save your money. Well, saving your money doesn't guarantee you a better outcome. It's just saving what you had so you didn't spend it on early. For me, I was like, man, it has to be something different. So that's when you start looking at investment. One of the things I could always do when I was younger in school was multiply. And I had a gift to multiply. Like teachers would be like, oh my goodness, like how do you come up with those numbers? At that point I realized 1 + 1 ain't gonna get me where I need to go. And I realized that you can multiply your talents and your skills, because if you have a high income vision, right, you need high income skills. And most people are looking at a high income vision with low income skills. To get paid those high income dollars, right? Because of that, they'll always be used because they can do the job, right? But they can't do it well enough to leverage themselves and their skills to position themselves financially. And that's so important when you look at high income anything, right? So from there, so that whole purpose thing is important, and knowing how much it costs. There's a cost when you get up and put those feet on the ground. There's a cost. Right?
Yes.
How much does it cost to be there in the bed? Most people don't factor that. That people say, "Oh, I got, let me hit snooze." But how much does it cost, like, to hit that snooze button? Like, really, how much does it cost to hit that snooze button? So you have to give your goals a value, and it just can't be this dream of value. It has the monetary value. It has to cost you something to where you recognize, and a lot of people recognize money, and that's where you really have to put a dollar sign on your goals, because if not, you'll always treat them as if they're a hobby. And another thing when we talk about purpose is you got to develop options, right? And we don't know what options are. Analogy what options are. The thing about options is that people treat you better when they know you got them. It's so important to develop options. I mean, anything. You have to get to that point, because the person who has options has leverage, right? And the person who has leverage creates opportunity. So if you have very few options, you have very few amounts of leverage, and then which leads to probably a handful of opportunities, right? Opportunities are what you make them. The most important letter in opportunity, what is opportunity? When you look at the letters I, right, you have to look at also who's a part of that circle. And I mean, I can go on and on, man. I just don't want to feel like I'm rambling.
No, you're not. This is good stuff, bro. This is good stuff, man.
Yeah, this is it costs to get up and it costs to lay down. So you just got to determine which one's gonna pay you when you hit that. There's a threshold to opportunity. There's a kind of I used to refer to it like a monument of completion. At the end of the day, how do you feel? You should be motivated and mentally. Like when it comes, you should be able to work hard, force yourself to go to sleep. And you need sleep. So all of this team no sleep stuff, I don't get into, right? I have to have rest, right? So that's just me. Some people doing it to be a long time ago. No. You need to make sure your body is fully functional in order to carry it out. Because if it's you got to realize. So think about this: are you fun or are you functional? Right? And
Yeah.
if you're tired, you cannot be functional at all. And functional has a lot to do with structure, right? You have to function structure. You know,
Right.
structure has to be created and sustained. Uh,
Right.
People who just look at the functionality of what it is, they just normally think about the fun in it. There's fun in it, but
Right. Right. Right.
something like being able to control your moments and not allow your moments to control you. It's kind of like when we were just disconnected, right? Um,
Right.
I didn't panic because you know what? I knew I had options. I knew I had
Yeah.
a computer in here, this in here. It's just all about one. Can I count on to be where I need to be at that
Right.
time? And
Yeah.
that's what I did. You go to your go-to. I call them your third down conversion. Like, and you
Okay.
got to realize, like, what's your third down conversion rate? And if you watch football, we got a lot of football people. You know, the third down conversion rates normally dictate the winner of the game.
Very
Why?
true.
And that's where most people they're afraid to go on third and one. A lot of people can't even get a third and one. That's 1 yard. Like,
Yeah.
that's you're
Yeah.
like, you can't get a third and one. Why? Because
Right.
there's something on the other end that wants it a little more than you do.
Hmm.
And sometimes what happens with strategic planning and structure, it doesn't matter how bad they want it, right? If you strategically place yourself around competition, you're going to win every time. You know,
That's good.
it's strategic planning, it's action planning. And I used to, tell people all the time, and oh yeah, you got to plan this, you got to. Well, no, it's just not about planning it. You got to strategically place yourself where you want to be and understand the outcome of really what it is that you want.
Right. 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 Dang, that's good, man. That is so good. Like everything that you're saying is gold. Like everything that you're saying is gold. And this is, and I've said this with everybody who's come on, this is just the tip of the iceberg of what they're gonna get at the Impact rally, and that's huge. That's big. And so I definitely appreciate you sharing, man. I know that we had you for a limited amount of time tonight, so I didn't want to keep you too long. Um,
It's fine, yeah.
so
And this is like the watered down version, but I'm trying not to get so excited, because I do have. And when I get back to that moment, it's like, man, I'm gonna start working on something else, and
yeah, yeah, yeah,
right. So that's at a time you got to learn you got to know how to shut yourself down. Uh,
yeah,
yeah, and that's so important with that rest, with that mental
yeah,
rest, and it's all about brain power, right? There's this thing: you got energy, you got synergy, and you got brain power. So for
there we
me,
go.
what I normally do is I calculate my steps before I take them. So the night before, I calculate what I need to do in the morning because I shouldn't have to spend 1 hour of my time and energy figuring out what I'm going to wear. Right?
Mm.
That's a decision that I could be putting that in making some business decisions. But guess what? I'm putting that into wardrobe. Come on. That's why you see Steve Jobs. He had an outfit. It was the same outfit. It was right. I remember when you saw him.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Jeans and a black turtleneck every day.
every day, right? And the reason why it's like they want to put that time and energy into something that can produce results back out to them. And like, why spend an hour do that? You spend 7 hours a week figuring out what you're going to wear. Coffee, right? For me, I know that I'm going to have a cup of coffee for breakfast. I know what I want when it comes to breakfast. So making those decisions before you get to them is a game changer completely.
Man, that's good. This is like I said, you dropping some nuggets, my friend. Dropping some nuggets. This is gold, literally. This is definitely gold. And as far as like the positioning yourself, being intentional about it, there's some of the things that you like when you said you got to put a cost to it. That's big. You got to put a cost to it, and the multiplication, multiplying your talents and your skills. but that cost, when you ask that question, how much does it cost to hit that snooze button? Because it is going to cost you something. It is like the greatest currency that we have in this world is time, and one of the things that I understand, I know more and more and more and more and more. There's this book of wisdom called Proverbs, and it says it so many times in there. It talks about how if you're lazy, you'll be poor, you'll be broke. In so many words, right? So it's good to hear from an entrepreneur speaking on a level of like, hey, like I calculate what this is going to cost me, what this next move is going to be. I don't want to spend time trying to figure out what I'm going to wear, because that time I could be spending on thinking about how I can impact the world, or how I can impact the business, how I can impact my team, how I can, so there's different things that you pull into focus when you start thinking like that. And then develop options. The person who has options has leverage. I just left it right there. I was like, hey, I'm gonna say, because I feel like you're gonna bring that back up at the event, and I don't even. I want it to slap them fresh, like.
Well, I would say it's 2 days for those who manage. You have to understand you manage number one and how you manage them, number two. And most of the time, it's all about positioning, and we just talk about positioning yourself. But knowing how to is so important. You're not there to do everybody's job, but you should know how to do everybody's job. The most important person who gets things done is who knows how to do everybody's job, right? And they're so valuable, and they have leverage, and a lot of people look to them, that they're friends with everybody in the company. But yeah, you definitely have to get to a point to where you got to understand, like, what do you bring? This whole bring to the table thing, I'm kind of over it. I get the analogy, but my thing is the old saying is that your gifts and talents will make room for you, right?
Yep.
It was limited to a table, right?
Right.
It didn't put any limitations on it. So I do hope that people look at themselves as they deserve to eat off of whatever they want to eat off of, right?
Yes.
I just, the only thing I caution people is showing up with no appetite, because when you get hungry, you'll eat anything, and if you're hungry, so you just got to be mindful of how to preserve when it's time to eat. That you know how to position yourself at a time to where when it's time to eat, you know what time it is,
Brother, man, this has been great, man. I don't know about y'all, everyone who is out here watching. I know that my vernacular has been out of sorts, and it is okay. He did say he was a small town country boy. Isn't that what you said? A small town country boy?
Yeah, small town country dropout.
Hey, a small town country dropout. So listen, the thing that I admire is that he kept it hot with us, honest, open, transparent, and just delivered his truth, and just started bringing those wisdom keys, those wisdom nuggets, man. I mean, Bob, thank you so much, bro. I know, like I said, no, pre-show we were talking, and you said you wouldn't be able to stay long, but I appreciate you for coming back on, even through the technical difficulties, and just the knowledge that you shared, man. If there's anything you want to leave with everybody, because I'm getting ready to let you head out, my man. But again, thank you so much. But if there's anything you want to leave with everybody, please go ahead, share with them, tell them how they can reach you, how they can connect with you. They're going to be with you at the Impacts Rally, so they need to register. And as soon as we finish, I'm gonna show that commercial anyway. But go ahead, my friend.
Oh no, that's what I was gonna say, man. Find me at the Impact Conference. All business. Let's handle business there. You'll see the 29th. Check me out there. And social media, we can connect in. I believe in knowing people before I know your handle. So, hey, let's make it work.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, man, everybody, this has been the man himself. I don't even know what title I want to give him. Let's just call him Bob. Make it happen, Bob. That's the man.
That's all, man. That's all. But I look forward to seeing you, man. I'm gonna jump off, man. Gotta
go ahead.
guys before I head out. But yeah, appreciate you. Continue to make an impact, man. And and everything that you do, man, is golden. For real. So, I met you the first time I met you, man. It's something about genuineness. And you can buy it anywhere. You can only discover it. And within you, brother, it is definitely been discovered. So continue on, brother, and we'll talk soon.
Yes, sir. We'll talk soon. Have a good evening, my friend. Have a good evening. All right, everybody. That was my man, Bob Mackey. He is one of our premier speakers that's coming through for the Impact Rally, and I'm so honored to have him on board with us. This Impact event, this conference, this is going to be something that is going to take your personal, professional, leadership careers to the next level, your entrepreneurial thought process to the next level, your personal business to the next level, your family life to the next level. It's going to impact every part of you at some point and take you to another level. When you leave from this Impact Rally, you are going to leave from this Impact Rally ready to hit the ground running. Most of you who are out here who are watching this, if you're listening to me, you set these New Year's resolutions and you haven't looked back at them since you started the new year. That means that you're not even doing those New Year's resolutions. So why even make them, right? Why don't you come and show up with us, Impact Rally 2022, so that we can take you to the next level. This is intentional. You want to register now. I'm going to actually break for another commercial break. And when I come back from this commercial break, I'm going to give a wrap up, and then we're going to do one last commercial break, and we'll dance our way out of here like we always do, y'all, like we always do. So enjoy this commercial. And while this commercial is running, I'm also going to go ahead and have a conversation with my people over here on Wisdom and my people over here on Instagram. Again, thank you so much to Bob Mackey, author, executive producer of Oscarville, the television series, as well as many other hats that he wears with that. He's also a Shark Tank entrepreneur with the Yono clip. Check out the Yono clip. You want to go ahead and get that. And I will make sure that I start throwing these things in here in some of these commercials so that you guys can see it. So enjoy this commercial break, and I will be right back. Welcome back from the commercial break. You are here with me. It's your boy Jarvis. We had Bob Mackey with us. He is gone for the evening, dropped a lot of great nuggets. I just had a great conversation with all of my friends over here on Wisdom and on IG. Let me go ahead and just kind of wrap this all up. So there's some things that we talked about tonight, and tonight's topic was positioning yourself for purpose. A part of why I wanted to allow Bob to talk about the things that he was talking about, a part of why I wanted to allow you to kind of go through his life story is because one of the things that I've learned is that although we all have a number, right? Social security number, job number, ID number, whatever the case is, we all have a name, and that name is extremely important. And the thing that makes your name so important is your life's story. And the reason why your life story is so important is because the things that you live, you are literally going to be able to help other people get over. You're going to be able to help other people get through. You're going to get other people, help other people get to the other side. All right. So it's the way that I've always known it is that we've overcome by the blood of the Lamb, the words of our testimony. That means that the things that you have been tested on in your life are now going to be a testimony to somebody. The things that you've messed up in life are now going to be a message for somebody else. The things that you have just been total just trials in your life are going to be triumphs that you'll be able to share with other people to help them be triumphant. You know, this has been tonight's topic is big with me, positioning yourself for purpose, because one of the sayings that I have, and I've been saying this for years, is that we were all born on purpose for a purpose. There are things that are out here in this world that we are absolutely going to make a difference in. Each and every one of us is going to impact 10,000 people in our lifetime without trying. Imagine the impact that you're going to have when you do it intentionally. So in you positioning yourself for purpose, positioning yourself to win, I want you to stop, write down the things that you want to do, ask yourself, what is it going to take for me to do these things, and then start doing them. Don't worry about how much money you got. Don't worry about the, not having the type of resources that you're going to have. Don't worry about anything else that's going on in life right now. There's times where I come on here, you guys, and I may be dealing with a lot, but you really won't know, because when I get on here, I'm operating in my purpose. I'm operating in that purpose that is designed to help elevate you, empower you, and take you to the next level. There's nothing that feels better in life than to see other people win. I want to say what's up to my girl Angelique over here. Angelique Benson just jumped in over on Facebook. What's happening with you? It's good to see you. To my people that are over on YouTube, what's up? What's happening with you? It's good to see you guys as well. All my people over here on IG and over here on Wisdom, it's always great to have you. So before I wrap this thing up, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to run one last commercial. When we come back from this commercial, we're going to jam up out of here. All right. So whatever song you want to hear, if you're on the Wisdom app and you just want to come up and you want to join the conversation, you want to share what your thoughts are on positioning yourself for purpose. If you're on IG and you want to come into the conversation, just request to join and I'll bring you up. But this is the last call. This is one last commercial for you all. And this commercial is going to show you how to register. And then when we come back, we are going to jump into our music for the night, and we're going to get on up out of here.
Hey, what are you waiting for? Go register for the Impact Rally now.
Yo, you are back with me, and we are still here with IG, FB, YouTube, and Wisdom. It's Jarvis TV, and we are getting ready to get out of here for the night. Now, tomorrow night is going to be a great topic, so you want to make sure that you tune in. I hope that you all have enjoyed your MLK Day. We had somewhat of a, you see I put the quotes up there, somewhat of a snow day out here in the Atlanta area, but we can talk about that another day. I mean, it's just, there was more ice and cold weather than anything, but it was nice to be able to feel a little bit of that winter brick. So, man, listen, I'm so glad that you guys were able to join with me tonight. We're going to get out of here with some music, and I am actually going to play, I don't know what I'm going to play. How about we just hit random and see what pops up? So when we hit random and it pops up for us, that's what we will listen to. Sound like a plan? Sounds like a plan. All right, here we go. I can't be held responsible for. I guess I can because it is my. I guess I can because it is mine, right? Let's see what we got going on. Okay, got a little Outcast going in there. What? Hey, so listen, everybody, this has been your boy Jarvis, and I have had a great night with you all. I've enjoyed being on here live with you. So I'm going to say peace out to all my people over here on IG first. Peace out to my IG family. Love y'all. I will see you guys tomorrow evening. And to all my people over here on YouTube and Facebook, thank you for tuning in. If you didn't get to see something at some point, go back and watch the whole thing. Bob dropped a lot of great nuggets. Bob Mackey. I came through and shared some things. And you guys just have a good evening, man. Love y'all. I'll holler at y'all later. And over here.